You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. If you are joining us for the first time, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. My name is Matt McSweeney. I'm joined by Ty Capone. Ty, how are you feeling on this beautiful May Friday afternoon?
Pretty good. It was pouring all of the morning.
It's not
and
good.
Then the sun just decided to come out, so it's beautiful now. So ready for a nice little combat weekend. We got some boxing, some UFC, some Octagon. I know you're a big fan of the Prague promotion.
Oh, so KSW?
No, Octagon with a K.
Oh, okay, my bad. I forgot that. I missed their last card. I was watching Jungle Fight.
I don't know if you remember the fella from Contender Series, Godoladze, or go some Georgian fella. He got slammed and fucked his shoulder up and lost.
Yeah.
He's fighting this weekend, so he'll probably be back in the UFC after this. Honestly, he's pretty good. So at least there's that going on. Devin Haney, I know you'll be tuned in. That's a pretty late start. There's nothing else really on that time slot. I can't wait for that fight, honestly. It might be a little boring. I think it might underwhelm excitement-wise, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a chess match.
You got to know what you're walking into with the boxing. It's not the same necessary excitement level. If you're not a true hardcore boxing fan and you just don't appreciate the competition aspect of it, then if you're looking for like highlight reel, you very rarely get that. You get it sometimes, but you don't get it all the time. It's tough.
Yeah, especially between those guys, top of the level, top of the line.
Damn, I keep hitting this fucking thing. It's pissing me off. We have you want to talk about an all-time classic card to get into today. You're going to be telling your kids about Mackenzie Dern and Angela Hill the day they main evented in Las Vegas in front of no people. But no, there's some people there. I'm just messing around. But yeah, listen, we get this fight. This fight was supposed to be last week, and it got moved off because I think Raquel Pennington and Aldana was supposed to happen today. Is that? I mean, I don't know what I was going to do unless I can't believe I'm going to get robbed of that banger. But we instead get this. And this is Mackenzie Dern and Angela Hill. Really, would you say – I hate to do this on maybe, shout out to the College Kids Experience. They're going to be out here listening to this.
Yes, sir.
This might be the shittiest card that the UFC has put on. I shouldn't say card overall because we've seen some bad ones. The main event, man. I mean, have they done something like this?
It's not a great main event. If you're looking for one that might be worse, look no further than July 15th. Holly Holm and Mayra Buena Silva will be the main event, and it looks like the co-main event may be probably not. It may be Norma Dumont and Chelsea. Don't call me Michael Chandler. So hopefully that does not happen. Somebody has to step in and save that card. Maybe Tyson Nam or Walt Harris and Josh Parmesan. They can save that card. Walt Harris is apparently back. I did not know that. So this card's not great, but if you look at next week's card, or I should say in 2 weeks, that card on the Apex, it's probably worse. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Then there's a pay-per-view in Vancouver that is solid main event, solid co-main. I'm excited. I think maybe it depends. If we get an inconsistent Amanda Nunes, a Renee Aldana can crack. So she probably loses, right? But you never know.
And listen, you're the only reason that you can feel good about this a little bit is because some of the cards they're putting together in later end of the summer are insane. They are putting together fights that we all want to see. And I mean, that was at 291 with Gaethje and Poirier for they're doing the BMF again, which is
they heard my that's that's one thing because I remember the first time it was around, all they were saying were this is a one time thing. We're never doing it again. One and done. That's all we're doing. And then here it is. It's making its return. Also, Tony Ferguson, fresh out of a flipped car, back at it. Ikram Al-Skarov taking on Paulo Costa. That came out of the bleachers.
Really
from left
nowhere,
field.
yeah.
Alex Pereira, quick turnaround from getting sent to the goddamn Shadow Realm. That kind of worries me. But altogether, that's a good card. He has a Holland. Dustin Gaethje, that first fight, it's banger. I don't know how this one's going to go at all. I feel like I haven't seen either guy in 10 years. But holy shit. And then even 292. Aljo said he didn't want to come back in August. Dana said, fuck you, you're fighting Sean O'Malley in August. I'm excited for that one in Boston. I wish I had enough money. I would go up there, but
yeah, that's going to be an awesome weekend. But let's get into the card this weekend. We have plenty. There were so many fights made. It's just but
never keep up anymore.
That end of July card is going to be all. When you just went through some of those fights, I'm just like all 5 on the main card are going to be just bangers, man.
Prelims haven't even been made
and
yet.
Some of them are like I've heard some fights that are like rumored to be on there where I'm like, oh, that too. Like
Wonder Boy and Michelle Pereira. That's just on the prelims.
Yeah.
Like I'll take that all day. CJ Vergara, Vinicius Salvador, Derek Lewis, and Rogerio de Lima. Hint, hint, we're taking Rogerio de Lima.
Yeah. We have been on the fade the Black Beast bandwagon just because we think he is completely cooked.
Keep throwing him out there. Get ahead.
Keep making us money. That's what we're here to do. So Angela Hill, interesting enough here, plus 150 underdog on a lot of these websites. We have Mackenzie Dern, obvious, I don't even know if I could say obvious, but minus 185 favorite. I really, really do struggle with this. Mackenzie Dern the last few times has not looked good at all. Her obvious advantage is always going to be the jiu-jitsu and the ground game. And how much bigger is she than Angela Hill? It seems like she would have the stature and size advantage. She is, 5'4", 2? Yeah, they're really the same size, pretty much. 5'4" and 5'3". I guess it's just you would think in theory, because Angela Hill is kind of a small. She's small, thicker, but she's I guess you could say that. But Angela Hill being the older fighter, I don't know. My instinct right here, before I even get into anything, or look at the odds or try to tell you what I think, like Angela Hill. Something tells me that Mackenzie Dern's slide is going to continue. But this isn't Yan Xiaonan and Marina Rodriguez, which those are only 2 losses in the last 3 years. So
almost lost to Tish Torres. I'll say that.
Yeah,
and Angela Hill is not a trustworthy fighter. Right? She's 10-12 in the UFC. She's lost a bunch of splits. She complains about losing unanimous. She did lose to Tisha Torres, I believe, twice. I could be wrong. Yeah, she lost way back in the Ultimate Fighter. So I don't know. Angela Hill's a weird fighter. She's won as a sizable underdog multiple times. She's lost as a favorite multiple times. She has a couple finishes, but hasn't really gotten any since Hannah Cyphers, and I don't even know if that counts, right? So I just think she's the better striker. I think Angela or Mackenzie Dern can pop a little bit. She has a little bit of power. She's improved that a little bit, but she hasn't made many improvements in general at all. I don't think. She's 30, right? So this should be the best we see of her. She has a good team. I don't really know what the excuse is. Her wrestling is really, it's 11% is her takedown accuracy. It's pretty it's pretty pathetic. Her takedown defense is bad just because she pulls guard, but she has a negative striking ratio, I believe. Angela Hill is quicker. She puts more combos together. I just worry about her age, her cardio, her tendency to just fight in close fights and kind of give away minutes and rounds and fights in general. 5-round fight, so you feel like more time for Mackenzie to get her game going. That should obviously be beneficial, and you'd probably, I see a lot of people are trusting her to do that, but she couldn't do it against Yan Xiaonan, and Yan Xiaonan was a white belt at the time. She got her blue belt after winning that fight. I love Yan Xiaonan. She also, though, lost to Marina Rodriguez, and she took her down. She had her on the ground, and we just saw what happened to Marina against Virna, and we've seen it before in her career. I don't know. I can't trust Mackenzie Dern at all. I do like Angela Hill here. I know it's a little shaky. I know it's a little rocky, but I'm going to take her money line. I think she should win 3. I don't know how Mackenzie Dern wins a round if it stays striking, if it stays on the feet, Angela Hill throws good low kicks, throw high kicks. Mackenzie Dern doesn't really do much.
No, and for your strong suit to be getting the fight to the ground, she really has trouble getting the fight to the ground. She really can't take people down. That's we've talked about that with jiu-jitsu. Some of these pure jiu-jitsu, technicians don't work on the wrestling aspect because in jiu-jitsu, you're always just inviting the grappling. You always just go to the ground. And, that's how all of those competitions are, basically held. In MMA, there's some people who don't want to go to the ground with you, and they just stand and they keep it standing for these however long. Like you said, maybe she gets a takedown here or there. Will she even be able to hold her down? You know, I struggle trusting either side of this, to be honest. This is really a ugly sort of situation. You're trying to, foresee what a 15-12 fighter is going to look like against somebody like. I don't know. Like she's lost to some bad fighters too, Angela Hill. And like you said, it's not because she's not good, or like we've joked about here on a million times. Like she after fights goes and complains about the decision when it's like you kind of just gave away minutes of a fight. I worry that maybe Mackenzie Dern gets her down a couple times and then wins a questionable striking exchange round where she lands some big shots.
She could probably catch her. I don't think Angela Hill is, she gasses. This is going to be a 5-round fight. She's 38. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Mackenzie Dern, man, she doesn't even average that many more takedowns on average than Angela Hill, which is kind of concerning. She does, obviously go for many more takedowns, but Angela Hill lands more. She's much more active. I think just for that reason. I know they're similar size-ish. I just think, I think Mackenzie Dern lands at like 35%. Meanwhile, Angela Hill's at 50, and her striking defense at 62. I just think she's just better. I do think she is going to take a taken down, or somehow find her way on the ground, get tripped, maybe accidentally get taken down in like a clinch exchange. I think Mackenzie Dern can definitely get some top control, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Shout out to her top game. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to be with you though on this. I think I'm going to go Angela Hill. I think that's just. I really would rather not bet this if I'm being honest. Or
I kind of want to stay away too, but.
Or honestly, if you're like, can you get some sort of prop where you get like Angela Hill by points or Mackenzie Dern by submission? And if that's like a good enough number, then I would bet that.
That could be a thing too.
I really like. I think a FanDuel there was a special last week, and it was Jorginho by submission or Rosenstruck by KO or something. It was something like that, and. Like I got like a minus 150 or something like that, or 170. It wasn't like a horrible number.
Yeah.
And I'll live with that. But
DraftKings last night, I saw they flashed during one of the overtimes of the Panthers game. Matthew Tkachuk was like plus 1,500 to score the game-winning goal. I wanted to bet it, but I can't do that down here, and he scored it. So DraftKings is always doing some dumb shit.
So Angela Hill money line plus 150, and like I said, that's the thing I would suggest off the sheet. But this is what me and Ty are taking on the sheet this week. We keep it moving though.
Also, Mackenzie Dern 0-2 in Apex main events.
Yeah, and maybe Mark Zuckerberg will rent the Octagon out again, or
also,
rent the Apex out.
Mackenzie Dern going through a divorce.
Yes,
not something you can count out because it does factor her mental game. Her mental health. Also, I think she struggled before listening to her advice, listening to her corner, kind of doubting herself. I think this is a good spot for Angela Hill, but like I said, sometimes she just gives it away.
I don't trust
She will lose 2 fans that aren't really fans of hers.
Yeah, really, and I would argue that her Mackenzie Dern's level of competition has been much higher, and she's figured out a ways to win. So that's why I'm really bouncing back and forth, but I would just take, like, if I'm on Dern, I would take the submission. I don't really think she's going to be able to win or even inside the distance. I don't think she could win a decision in this fight. That's just my personal opinion. But Edmund Shabazian, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, it is to you out there. He is I believe, minus 210 favorite against Edmund Shabazian. Do you think this is a fair number for what could happen here? And I think this is kind of Edmund would like to keep this standing, and Fluffy's good overall, but Fluffy has lost some fights that he really looking back now, Kevin Holland and Marcus Perez. That's just Marcus Perez not good, Kevin Holland not bad either. But even like the Josh Friend fight, I still hold that against him when he could have easily got. Or at least gone for it on that guy, and he didn't. I think Edmund Shabazian, though, he's at least trending back in the right direction. I guess I'll ask you, what do you think about this one?
I think there's a tendency in Fluffy Hernandez. He gets hurt to the body a lot.
Yeah,
Perez and Holland, also Jin Young Park in a fight he won. He got hurt to the body in that one too. Edmund is, he's hell on wheels in that first round. So if you think Edmund can get him out of there in the first round, I honestly wouldn't doubt it. it's just that, what has he really done lately? Nothing. He beat Dalcha Lugiambul. That's it. I mean, he did finish Brad Tavares. That was kind of hard to do, especially 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, almost. Not almost, but we're getting there. So, but yeah, like I said, that was 4 years ago. After that, I mean, he took a beating from Brunson, or just got smoked by Jack Hermanson, took an absolute beating from Nasruddin Imavov. I don't know. I think Fluffy, he gets him on the ground, and this goes past for one round. Nice little rhyme there. I think it's over. I think Edmund's going to quit. He's going to give up. I don't think he has much win equity after the first 5 minutes. Honestly, most of his finishes are in the first, even outside the UFC. Fluffy can. I think he can at least stay alive for a round, but it is going to be tough. I think he could definitely catch him. Catch him coming in crazy. Even if he does get hurt, I think he can still use that wrestling game, and he's really relentless on those takedowns. And Edmund gets beat up on the ground a lot too. So I got Fluffy here. I really just don't know if I want to take a bet on it because I think the first five is going to be shaky. So I guess I will lean on you to kind of help steer me here.
I wonder how this fight's gonna play out. That's the big thing. I mean, I know Anthony Hernandez. He will have the better ground game for sure, but will he be able to hold him down in the way that Derek Brunson was able to, or Nasruddin Imavov was even able to have success on the ground? So, is he going to be able to do that level of damage on the ground? You think? If he even gets it there,
I think he could land some elbows, be active, and then just eventually find any kind of submission. Because he's, dude. I mean, we saw before when he tapped out the black belt hunter, right? Isn't that his nickname, Adolfo Vieira?
Adolfo Vieira, yeah.
That once he did that, man, that was special. It was a Darce too, I believe, and that's hard to lock in, man. You if you have a Darce like that, you have a tight fucking squeeze. I think he gets Shabazian in anything. Rear naked choke is probably what I would assume would be his, what he's going to go for. But some kind of arm triangle, or maybe if he gets knocked down and he follows him into his guard, he can put an arm bar or something. But like you said, I don't know if he does finish him. I just think Edmund Shabazian has a lot of quit in him, and he doesn't like being on his back, doesn't like being on the ground.
He did kind of go through the fire in that Dalcha fight, though, for a little bit.
Not a good thing. So
yeah,
I think just in general, trusting Fluffy is something I just trust him much more.
I got you. I don't think it's a bad play either. But
I don't know. I think I'm gonna stay away though for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away as well. I don't trust this whatsoever, and I'm not gonna force myself to bet something. But I honestly, next, so. I just don't have really a leaning. Anthony Hernandez is the reason he's a minus 200 favorite, but I don't like him at that number at all. I think it should be much closer to even than I probably would take it. I just don't see the value there. Emily Ducote, Lupita Godinez. Jesus, all right. I got there, though. I dribbled around it, but I eventually jacked the shot up. How about minus 160, 140 for Godinez? Emily Ducote, a friend of yours, is plus 130. So my instinct. Oh, geez. All right. Rein it in. Instinct.
I just had some coffee. I'm going to be stuttering a whole lot, so I feel you.
Loopy. That's my instinct. Loopy. I like Loopy here, and that's all I'm going to say.
All right, interesting.
Catch weight, by the way, 120 for the record.
Yeah, Loopy said she took this at 120 because she didn't have a full camp. That worries me a little bit. She just fought in April against Cynthia Calvillo. That was a rugged fight. She took a bunch of shots. It was very close. I think I do remember having her and thinking she did win, but it did get close against a very cooked Cynthia Calvillo. Before that, she fought Angela Hill. Didn't go for the wrestling at all. She's a very odd fighter. There would be fights in the Luana Carolina fight that she lost. Just didn't go for takedowns, really. Only got 2. Should have got way more than that. She did her thing against Silvana Gomez, Juarez. But in the Jessica Penne fight, didn't really do what she was supposed to do. She takes fights on short notice. She's she's just an odd fighter to really get a gauge on. She was a huge favorite against Angela Hill and blew that fight, and I think that steered a lot of people away from her after the performance against Ariane Carnelossi. I like Emily Ducote here. She's a Taekwondo black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She was a California State runner-up in high school in wrestling. I think she's a much better striker than Loopy. Loopy doesn't. I think she has a negative striking ratio. It could be not good. It's close to negative, but her takedown accuracy is not great. She gets them. She's definitely a credential wrestler, but she's just her IQ, her game plan is just very inconsistent. Godinez has been around, or Dakota's been around. She's fought a lot. She used to fight up. A lot of her losses, she fought in Bellator a lot. A lot of her losses over there came at 125. So I think I don't know if she'll be bigger or stronger. I know Loopy's a bit thick, but I think Emily Dakota's going to do enough to keep it standing enough. And I think she's going to be the better striker here. Kind of how she beat Jessica Penne, maybe. Except it'll be a close fight, I think, regardless. But I got Emily Dakota here.
You just kind of convinced me. I'm going to be honest. I don't.
It's going to be a split, I think, either way.
Yeah.
So
Loopy, you're 100% right. She definitely should win this fight. Just if it was based off the skill. But like you said, she doesn't always do what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
The Luana Carolina fight was bad. And then the one against Angela Hill, which I get Angela Hill, it's a tough fight, but like she didn't even go for it. She just wanted to strike with her, and that is
it's not a good move.
That was very, very not smart. I don't know if she has a great corner, a great camp. She has a very short reach. I know a lot of 115 girls do, but 61-inch reach, not great.
So are you putting this on the card?
Yeah, Emily Dakota Mooney line.
All right, I'm with you.
Goldadinha. She's 29,
130.
so I think she has a good camp, training at American Top Team. So we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. How about Andre Filaho, Joaquin Buckley? Filaho, big time, not big time, but plus 190 underdog, considerable favorite for Joaquin Buckley at minus 230, 220. That number to me makes me very uncomfortable. I think this fight's going to end inside the distance, but I am not sure that Filaho couldn't catch Buckley.
Yeah, they've both been knocked out 4 times, right? So, I think Fiallo is surprisingly. He has durability. They both have durability concerns, but I think Fiallo is a little strong. I just think he's defensively inept. Yeah. I don't think he necessarily is chinny. I just think he gets hit clean too much and too often. It's not like
he doesn't really move his head. He just stands there.
No. He's rebounded once in a while, a couple times. I think Baez was in a little bit of trouble. I think on the regional scene, a bunch of shit happened. That he's just not a very smart fighter. Neither guy is, but Buckley's coming down. I think he's probably the better, just everywhere, all around. I think he's quicker. I do like the under. I just don't know what it is.
That's why I'm here. I can get it for you right away, sir. Thank you.
I think
under 1.5 is minus 107. You can get plus 102 on FanDuel.
Minus 200 for under 2.5 isn't that bad. I guess maybe I could see it being like a little boring if they get to the second or third round. They're kind of tired, maybe, but I don't know, man. That first round's gonna be fucking dangerous. They're gonna be swinging bombs. I think somebody's got to get caught early. I'm gonna stay away though. I don't feel a certain type of way. And I like the next fight, so I think I'm kind of taking a every other fight approach.
I really want to take something here. I just don't see where
I guess Buckley is. Inside the distance I kind of like, but what is it? Minus 105. Yeah, not bad, but not great.
Yeah, I just don't trust either one of these guys to do what needs to be done. So I'm going to take the under plus 102, so plus 100. 1.5.
I like it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't really love this either, but
not much going on in this card. I can't.
That's the thing. I'm kind of hunting for stuff to bet here because it really is it's more of a card where I don't trust this guy. I don't trust that guy. There's not like a guy where I'm like, oh yeah. Like,
who do I trust less?
Yeah, seriously. How about Michael Johnson, Diego Fajeda, like we talked about a couple weeks ago? This is kind of an interesting, a little bit of a sneaky fight to have on this card. Michael Johnson plus 130, 135. Diego Fajeda minus 150, 160 on some books. I think this is a fight where I Something tells me to bet Michael Johnson that I trust Michael Johnson more. Just the last couple times I've seen Fajeda out there was not good, but that was at 55. He hasn't fought in a couple, a year and a half. He's getting back out there, and maybe he's gotten better, made the adjustments necessary. He's not a young man. Neither would Michael Johnson be considered, but I feel like Michael Johnson's
younger. I wouldn't guess that, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like because he's been around so long, you've seen him fight so many times. But Michael Johnson has looked good of recent, would you say? I think he hasn't looked horrible in these last 3 fights.
I thought he won that Jamie Malarkey fight, but it was close, right? And the Clay Guida fight, I still think, other than getting the wrestling and the takedowns, he looked pretty good. And again, even the Thiago Moises fight, he was outstriking Thiago Moises. I think Moises was kind of just looking for a submission, but. Yeah, honestly, I mean, the Casey fight was good. The Alan Patrick fight was good. I know it was, kind of close-ish for a little bit, but he dusted him off quick. But yeah, like you said, Ferreira CDF hasn't fought since he fought Gamrot, and he got smoked. He got smoked by Gregor Gillespie. 4 of his 5 losses are to southpaws, so I think that bodes well for Michael Johnson's chances. Michael Johnson's more active. I know there's a path to victory here, but I think Michael Johnson can stop the initial takedown. And if it gets to the second or third round, I don't know if Diego Ferreira is going to really have cardio or, have what it takes to really get this thing going. I mean, last 3 fights, he's been taken down 13 times, Diego Ferreira. So it's really been a struggle lately. And the losses aren't great. They're all good fighters, except for maybe Gillespie, but. Michael Jackson, they used to call him Blackie out for a reason, right? He's got fucking quick hands, hits hard, and I think he does. I think he gets him out of here. I think it's going to start standing. I think he's going to struggle to get him down if he even gets that chance. His takedown accuracy is 24%. His striking accuracy is 37%. Not a really efficient guy. And Michael Johnson, we've seen him put out Dustin Poirier. That power is the last thing to go. Yeah, I like Michael Johnson here.
I'm with you. You putting it on the card?
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I want to take his money line or not, because I don't. If it goes the distance, I could see that easily being a grind out decision for CDF. But what would Michael Johnson inside the distance even be? Or TKO, I guess. Plus 285, Michael Johnson inside the distance. I kind of like that.
That's a big number.
TKO plus 275. So.
This fight is at 170, though, right? I mean, is that what I'm saying here? Is this correct? No, 155. I'm sorry. I put the Joaquin Buckley one on that. Because Tapology loves to move by itself constantly because ads keep popping up. So
I'm going to take Michael Johnson inside the distance plus 285.
Wow.
I think he's going to rock him. I think CDF's cooked. It's been a while since he's fought. Not a good sign. And last time we saw him, he got dusted out by a nice swift knee. Michael Johnson still has quick hands, still has good power. Not as old as you think, so maybe still has a little bit left in that tank.
How about Mashate? And then Slava Claus. How do you say this gentleman's name? Vyacheslav Borishev?
It sounded like Borishev.
I don't know what the
other O is. But
yes, I am getting back in the octagon. This is when I talk about disgusting. This is what I'm talking about, honestly. Mashate's the underdog here. Slava Claus has been real hot and cold. He either loses a decision or he's knocking Dakota Bush out, one or the other, or going to
Harry
war
Bush.
with a Chris Duncan on the Contender Series and doing his dance after he knocks these guys out. So Mark DeCasey and Mike Davis, not exactly Mashate either. So they Mashate being not as good as I would say Mike Davis. Mike
Davis has some good hands.
Mike Davis has some good hands, and he just seems like just a physical freak.
Borshev was giving him the work with the hand. I know he got taken down 500 times by him and DeCasey, but he's does Mashate wrestle? I mean, we haven't really seen much of him. We saw him 3 times. Contender Series fight where he was I think plus 500. Nobody really expected him. And when he fought that Achilles guy, who I don't know whatever happened to that fella, but he was getting beat up. I think by he got hurt. I think at one point by Mr. Achilles. He wipes the floor with Steve Garcia, but then he gets smoked by Rafa Garcia. Right, got taken down 6 times. I don't think there's gonna be much wrestling in this fight. It looks like. Borshev doesn't want to do it. I don't think Mahashate wants to do it. I think Borshev is the much better striker. Much, much, much better striker. Now, Borshev did get hurt by knees from Mr. Harry Bush. And he did get dropped by Mike Davis. Mahashate does have good knees. I think that might be something you see, but I just got Borshev here. I think Mahashate was never really expected to be a star. It's not like they wanted to push him, really. He was just kind of young. And that knockout of Steve Garcia, not great. Not great.
Yeah.
I know he was an underdog. Listen, I had Steve Garcia. I had money on him like an idiot, but I don't think that's really anything to write home about. Give me Borshev here inside the distance. Or can I just take his money line? Is he underdog? He is not. Minus 165. Yeah, I got Borshev inside the distance, plus 135.
Plus 135. That's not a bad number for that. Borshev TKO is pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna go -1. I'm gonna go plus 125 with you. Borshev inside the distance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we keep it moving. Make sure we write that down for the record. Karolina Kowalkiewicz getting it back in there against Vanessa Demopoulos, one of Ty's favorite fighters, also, and the girl who jumped into Joe Rogan's arms after she won a fight. So, Karolina, really interesting case of somebody who's like retired 6 times and then come back and looked really good in some of these fights. This is a little bit of an interesting matchup because Demopoulos, I think, is going to bring the fight to her. I wonder if Karolina is going to be able to control this fight or really dictate what happens. And that's what leans me towards maybe Demopoulos could win just by sheer power and just aggression, because she does bring that to these fights, for the most part.
Yeah, she'll hop on you for sure. You know what I mean? She'll hop on that. She likes to really make it wet and work.
Okay, all right,
really
we got it.
No, she's kind of a dog, right? She's small, 59-inch reach. I mean, you can't get much shorter arms than that, really. Again, I know most flyweights are small, but I mean, Karolina has a 64-inch reach, so I think Karolina's kind of just solid everywhere. She is getting older, but Vanessa Demopoulos herself, 30, 34, little monster, right? Negative striking ratio. She gets some takedowns, but 16% accuracy. She gets taken down herself. We saw that against J.J. Aldridge. Saw that against Corey McKenna. And she was almost out of there against Silvana Gomez, where she got dropped bad, but she found the win, and then she managed to escape with a split close win against Jin Fry. Same kind of situation with Maria Oliveira. Pretty decent fight, but I think she was, losing parts of all those fights, which makes me very concerned about betting her. I don't think she, Karolina's been around, right? She's fought Yan Xiaonan. She didn't win, but she fought her. She fought Alexa Grasso in a decent contest. Michelle Waterson, Jessica Andrade, Claudia Gadella, Joanna. She beat Rose Namajunas back in the day. Beat Randa Marcos way back in the day. I just think she's better everywhere. I know she did retire, but she did come back. And she's won 2 in a row. So I don't know. I don't really know what Vanessa Demopoulos is going to do. I guess try to wrestle, try to take her down, but I don't think she's really good at that. I don't think she has great cardio either. So give me Karolina money line. I trust her in this spot to win at least 2 rounds.
You've convinced me. I'm with you. And that's what's great about this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, because I had no idea really what I was going to bet. I had to lean, and I may have lost money. Now I'm going to win money. That's literally what it's all about.
Listen, you never know. All right.
Future champion, I believe we've heard some people say out there, Orion Koshki is getting back in there against Gilbert Urbina in this 170 banger. Minus 110, 110 for both guys. I could talk about this fight 1,000 times. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Could you actually?
Well, no, not like by choice, but I'm just saying, like you could sit here and talk about it, and you'll never talk about the same thing because you're just going to be like, what in God's name is going to happen? He was finished twice on the Contender Series, pretty much. He beat Michael Gilmore, but guys, you need to see Michael Gilmore fight.
Oh man.
And other than that, I mean, he fought with Sean Brady. That's kind of a feather in the cap sort of situation for Gilbert Urbina. That is. Orion Koshki, at the very least, has a loss to none other than Phil Rowe. So, he looked horrible in that fight too. He just was kind of stammering around the octagon, throwing hopeless bombs. He beat the Blood Diamond though, so that's you can give that to Mr. Koski. I think he wins this fight. Orion Galaxy Koski. I'm Gilbert Urbina. I can't. I mean, he definitely could win this fight. That's the sad thing. And just seeing the line lets you know that nobody has any idea what's going to happen. I just think Gilbert Urbina stinks, and I think Orion will probably be able to take him down and maybe just put the pace on. But he doesn't have good cardio either. I don't know. I just think Gilbert Urbina is going to fold. That's what I'm hoping for, I guess. But I'm not putting it on the card.
Yeah. As bad as both these fighters are, their nicknames may be worse, right? I don't think either of them are the UFC caliber. Honestly, you put them on a random regional scene fight night, I don't know if they're going to be the main event, right? The RGV Bad Boy. Not sure what that means.
Yeah,
but I also don't really care.
Yep.
Also, Orion Galaxy Koski.
Yeah.
Kosuke. Not great. Not a great nickname.
Not the best.
He's been outstruck pretty much by everybody. I think he did outstrike that guy on the Contender Series, Matt Dixon. But he also got taken down 3 times by Matt Dixon. But he got that late finish. He got a couple takedowns against Phil Rowe. I think he was really up against him. I know Phil Rowe's not the greatest, but making your debut and being on the level that we know Kosei is on, that's a tough fight. Blood Diamond got outstruck, not great, but he managed to get the fight where he wanted to and win unanimously, right? I think that's what he's going to do here. I think Urbina is 4 inches taller. He got 4 inches of reach. Probably the better striker. I don't think it's necessarily a high bar to clear, but he got taken down by Battle, got outstruck by Battle, got subbed by Battle. This is a guy who can't wrestle in Urbina against a guy who has no cardio in Kosei.
Yeah.
But I don't think Urbina has cardio. So he hasn't fought in 2 years, right? I think, almost. So that's not good. Kosuke is also coming down from 185 when he fought Trayshawn Gore. Listen, did he lose to Gore or did he beat Gore? I think he did beat Gore, right? Or did he...
No, Kosuke fought...
Urbina fought Gore. So,
yeah.
He's coming down from 185 then, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I just think Kosuke has a game plan, and is going to stick to it. Yeah, I think he's going to get this unanimous decision victory. I'm going to take his money line.
Urbina's best bet is to be able to stand on the outside and leg kicks and kind of hit him like jabs and just him off of him. But I would trust. I would hope you guys stay away. Are you putting this on the card?
Yeah.
Oh God. All right.
I know it's getting real sloppy, but especially next. Next is going to be a real disgusting one. But
well, let's get dirty, ladies and gentlemen. We have Ilir Latifi. Don't fuck it up, Matt. Ilir Latifi. Have some respect for one of the GOATs of this game against Rodrigo. The sledgehammer against Rodrigo Nascimento. Zé Colombier. Whatever that may mean, ladies and gentlemen, in Portuguese. But this one, really, what do you do here? Nascimento is a minus 180, 200 favorite to Ilir Latifi's plus 155, 160. I mean, really, what do you do? You think Nascimento gets him out of there? He's tough to get out of there, man.
Yeah, I don't feel good about Nascimento here. I don't think he's that good. He hasn't fought in a little bit, right, since he fought Bozier, and that fight was really close. He also is he's a big boy. He's bigger than Latifi. He just made the heavyweight limit. I want to say he's more skilled, but really, is he? I mean, Chris Dawkins got him out of there with no problem. The Alan Badeau fight was, closer than it should have been. He's not very active, right? He fights like every year-ish. Neither guy's ever been taken down. So that's kind of interesting. I think Latifi's a vet. I think he struggles picking a weight class and sticking to it. He struggles in general. But I think he's better. I think he's better here. I think Nascimento was in some trouble against Tanner Bozier, if I remember correctly. So,
stay
a gross
away.
Heavyweight fight. Stay away? Should I stay away?
Stay away, dude. This is.
I think I can't do it. So I'm going to bet on Ilir Latifi money line. Plus 152. I like it. Nascimento got outstruck by Alan Badeau before he got that finish. So,
what is wrong with you? I'm giving you plus 160 here.
Good odds. The dogs are barking, and I got to listen to them because I'm a dog. Not really, but
plus 160, and we keep.
I think Latifi's won 2 in a row. Not great fighters, but he beat Tanner Boser, beat Alexei Oleinik,
and he's tough to get out of there, man.
Very boring fights for sure, but I'll take a boring fight.
Nascimento was boring in that Boser fight too, so he can definitely have a boring fight if he.
He may be 9 years younger, but I don't think that matters when he takes all this time off. And at least Latifi, I guess he hasn't fought in a little bit, but he fought a couple times in 2020. He's not too active himself, but he does fight at least high competition, right? So.
I'm staying away from either one of these guys. I mean, Ilir Latifi went the distance with Alexei Oleinik, and Rodrigo Nascimento.
That's a good sign. It's a good fighter.
If you can't get him out of there, that's a big issue at this point. The man is 60 years old.
You couldn't get him out of there.
No, I couldn't because I'm not a polar bear. These guys are built like polar bears. They should be able to get this old polar bear out of there. But what are you going to do? Chase Hooper, your favorite fighter. You love him.
Your boy.
We both hate this guy. He's fighting Nick Fiore in a classic lightweight battle. Chase Hooper is a plus 110 underdog.
Moving up,
right? He is moving up, I believe. He's the number 82 ranked featherweight in the world last year. So now he's getting back in there against Nick Fiore. We don't know much about Nick Fiore other than he's part of the New England cartel, and he has a loss to Matus Rebecki in his UFC debut. So... I'm going to take Fiore here just off principle, but
I'm doing the same thing. He used to train with Gordon Ryan. I think he got smoked by Matus Rebecki, but that dude's what would that guy do to Chase Hooper?
I think Chase Hooper might get finished here.
Yeah, and in the little bit we saw on the feed in the first round, very early, Nick Fiore busted up Matus Rebecki's eye. He got busted up himself, but Matus Rebecki comes forward with literally he floors the gas is what he does. Chase Hooper does not present really any threat on the stand up. He has good size, right? But he is not good. He's just not good. I mean his striking defense is 34%. His takedown accuracy is 26%. Nick Fiore, I believe, is pretty credentialed on the ground. So I don't know if he's highly rated or higher rated than Hooper on the ground, but I think he's good enough to really stay alive and not get heel hooked. Somehow, RIP to the late Felipe Colares, but somehow Chase Hooper was able to finish him with punches. But you remember that Peter Barrett fight was kind of close, and then he got that heel hook.
Yeah, he was going to lose that fight.
Got smoked by Stephen Ocho Peterson, who, by the way, just hung him up. Got smoked by Steve Garcia. He got knocked down like 4 times. Remember that against Steve Garcia?
Oh,
yeah. So, his best win is Daniel Tamer, who I believe is also out of the UFC. So I think I have never been impressed by him. His progression.
You were about to say he's cooked, and he's like 23 years old.
I mean, I think he is cooked. I mean, Steve Garcia was just bopping him around the octagon like a fucking rock'em sock'em robot. So. I think this Nick Fiore guy at least can hit hard. If it stays standing, Chase Hooper has nothing for him. If it goes to the ground, I don't know. Maybe he gets a submission, but like, when's the last time he even got a submission?
I mean, Fiore's got a fair amount of, like you said, trained Gordon Ryan has a fair amount of rear naked chokes, and it doesn't seem like he'll be lost down there either.
No, and he trains with fucking good guys, and I think Chase Hooper has a cardio issue. Now, starting your career off with 2 fights against Jay Ellis back to back, yeah, sure, not great, but we've seen a lot of people go through the Jay Ellis. Yeah, we've seen also Malcolm Gordon today is 33, so happy birthday. Just saw that on the side of Tapology. So I mean, listen, nobody really fights guys on the regional scene. Yeah, it happens a lot, right? Who did Chase Hooper fight before he got to the UFC? Did he fight Jay Ellis? He did not. He fought nobody though. So like, I don't know if that's necessarily a sign that you're not going to be ready for the UFC, right? He got his feet wet in the UFC against Rebecki, got used to it, got beat up a little bit. I think he's going to be. I think this is it for Mr. Hoop.
Yeah, Fiore inside the distance, plus 150. I just want to make that official. That's my bet. Honestly, sitting here right now, it's my best pick of the night.
I'm telling it.
I feel really good. Yeah, well, I'll make sure I get you in there so we can both cash out here. Let's keep it
Chase
moving.
Hooper knocks him out in the first round.
Yeah, the Dream's going to submit him in 20 seconds. What a performance!
Flying heel hook.
Chase Hooper
has done it.
Yeah. You'll hear like the guy will use a term you've never heard before for a submission. You'll be like, "Are you
the Hooper bar?"
Yeah. Oh, what a kaloogie loogie! You're like, what? I've been watching MMA for fucking like 5 years, 6 years, solid. I don't miss a card. Are you kidding me, man?
Joe Rogan will tweet, "Yeah, I know what that is." Like, no, you don't. Shut up.
Yeah, that he does say some shit sometimes where I'm like, what is that? What is he doing? Like,
yeah.
Natalia Silva and Victoria Leonardo, Goku, who I only say that because she's in Dragon Ball Z. She looks absolutely insane in her Tapology picture from Pomona, New Jersey, born in Pomona.
Wherever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
It's close to your former stomping grounds. How about her win against Mandy Baum? That's a good thing she has going for her. But I believe we liked Natalia Silva in her last performance. Am I wrong in that, or
No, she looked good against us. She finished. Remember, she knocked out Teresa Bleda with that spin back kick.
Yes,
I think she was beating her
minus 900, 1,000 for Natalia Silva.
Basically, we know what we have here. She's minus 160 inside the distance, and honestly, I'm taking that. Victoria Leonardo's been knocked out by head kick, or has been head kicked into a finish twice. Erin Blanchfield on the regional scene and Manon Fiorot in the UFC. Listen, two great fighters. Well, two high-level fighters. Is Natalia Silva as good as either of those two? I don't know, but Natalia Silva, she's hell on wheels, and she's dangerous, and Victoria Leonardo is just not good. Melissa Gatto snapped her arm. She got smoked by Miranda Maverick, I think, in Invicta in an exhibition for whatever reason, and she also got smoked by her way back in Invicta in actual contest. I think the exhibition was a tournament or something that they do. I don't know. But yeah, she's not very good. Manon Fiorot was just smoking the fucking absolute dog shit out of her with every single strike. She has no give to her, no durability. She has nothing really going for her. I guess she has some wrestling, offensive wrestling, but fighting out of Shreveport, Louisiana, red flag. There you go.
I like Silva submission plus 245.
All right. She has 7 subs, only 4 TKOs. The only time we've seen her in the UFC is a TKO.
Yeah.
Before that, she was arm locking, arm barring everybody in Jungle Fight. I remember you were there live when she arm locked Gabriela Marcal. Also, I think you were there when she lost to Marina Rodriguez at Thunder Fight 14.
Yes. That was a great night in Curitiba.
I mean, was it Curitiba?
I don't know.
I think you better get your facts straight. I think it might have not been.
Where were we?
I think it might have been. It was in Sao Paulo. So it looks like you weren't there, but racist fuck. They're not all the same. They're all in Curitiba. There.
Sao Paulo, Curitiba, Brazil.
Brazil City. No, I don't think it's real. So funny enough, Natalia Silva started career 1-3. I think she got finished in all 3 of those losses. Ever since then, though, she's been reeling them off. She didn't finish Jasuda Vicious, but she beat the brakes off her. So if she doesn't get a finish here, I'll be pretty upset. But she's gonna beat if you have enough money to lay the minus 1,000 odds, do it. But it's pretty crazy.
So you taking inside the distance?
Yes, I am.
So we'll give you plus.
I want to do sub, but I think she might just kick her, and Goku is just gonna fall, and melt. So
we have one final fight to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Takashi Sato and Themba Gorimbo are getting in there to kick this illustrious card off. I'm sure that the place will be packed for this one.
Yeah, you can't miss this one.
Gorimbo is a minus 120 favorite. Sato, neither one of these guys really do much for me, but I guess Gorimbo is is he younger, right? No? I don't know, to be honest.
I think he's a year younger. His nickname's the answer. He is not Allen Iverson. Takashi Sato, nicknamed 10. So it's been a while since we saw Mr. Sato, right? And that was a brutal. Brian Battle, he disconnected him from reality, right? He got kicked bad. Head kicked in the head, and then his head bounced off the canvas. That was scary. I think his spinal cord might have snapped out of place for a second. Brutal. It was. I'm serious. It was brutal. To the Themba Greenbow, longer, taller. He's not like you see a lot of African MMA fighters. A lot of them are just strong, powerful. They hit hard. They're if not anything, dynamic and explosive strikers. He's kind of not like that. He's more of a wrestler, kind of boring fighter. I don't think he's very good, but the problem with Sato is he's low volume, and again, man, that knockout was bad. Like, I don't know how he comes back from that. He's not very young. He's lost 3 in a row now. He loses this one, he's done. I think they want to kind of push Garimbo a little bit, right? Sato's also, I mean, the most strikes he's ever landed in a fight was 29 against Bilal Muhammad, of all people, in a fight where he lost very late in that fight. So,
This may be a bad bet, but I'm taking Garimbo decision.
Let me just jump in there.
Plus
all right,
330.
I like that. What's Sato? So, Sato against Gunnar Nelson. I remember Gunnar Nelson couldn't get him out of there.
Yep.
A lot of people were surprised by that. We could see that happen here. Baeza took him down. Baeza did finish him, but Bilal took him. It took Bilal a while to finish Sato. So it looks like a lot of his fights go late. Jason Witt fight, he finished him early, but Jason Witt, we
don't have to even go
a
there.
5 mile per hour wind would send him to the canvas.
Come on, man.
So I think also the Brian Battle introduced him to God. So I think I think Garimbo plus 30. You said 330 decision. I like that. Put me on for a small little play, a little pepper.
You're on the card.
I have a lot more bets than I really anticipated on putting.
You did.
For a card that's really not going to – I'm going to miss at least – what time does it start? I'm going to miss the prelims.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it's done. Quickly before we get out of here, I just wanted a prediction on the Haney-Lomachenko fight. Would you have anything you'd recommend to play this weekend?
Yeah.
You think Haney? I think you think Haney's going to win.
Yeah, I'd like to see what Haney is by decision. Or so I see my guy Dan Canobio. He's on DraftKings, and he does a lot of these random he'll do a Devin Haney money line and over 10.5, and it's a pretty decent enough parlay to get the close-ish odds right. He's minus 280 money line, which is kind of low-ish. I just think Lomachenko, man, he's been fighting him in a war for fuck's sake. So. He's getting older. Devin Haney. It's going to be an interesting fight because I think both guys are, if you look at their stats, they're, some of the leaders in boxing in general and defensive efficiency. I think Lomachenko, his opponents land 9% of their jabs. On the counter, Devin Haney lands I think 30-something% of his jabs. High numbers and also low numbers for each guy. I just think at this stage of their career, they're on a different level. I think Devin Haney is much quicker. I don't think he finishes him, but I could see him kind of overwhelming him. I don't think he hits as hard as Teofimo does, but I think he's bigger than Teofimo, so I think he's going to have a size advantage in that sense. I'm trying to see the over is minus 650, over 10.5, and his money line is minus 280. You can parlay that, or maybe you can't parlay that. That's kind of lame. But if you could, it would be pretty decent odds, I would assume. I don't know what else you can do here. I'm trying to find his prop to win by decision. I'm sure that's not going to be very high, but
Haney by decision is minus 165. It's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's a lock. I think he wins a lot of rounds. Maybe not all of them, but I think he wins a lot of rounds. Lomachenko's going to look a little old. Devin Haney's a star. I think he's one of the better.
And like you said, the guy hasn't really been necessarily focused 100% on boxing recently. It's a little difficult for him to do so with his home country being in a war, locked in a war right now. So
yeah, pretty scary stuff. He's 11 years older, and last time we saw him was against Jermaine Ortiz, and he did not look good.
Yeah,
Jermaine Ortiz, that was a layup too. That was his last 2 fights. Richard Comey couldn't get him out of there. He's not a finisher. I get it, but when he was young. When he was earlier in his career, I know he fought a lot of guys he was bigger than, right? At 130, 135. Guys that were kind of absolute jokes. Not absolute jokes, but Miguel Mariaga, Guillermo Rigondeaux. I mean, that Rigondeaux fight, that dude was undefeated. and he absolutely did not want to fight him beyond the first round. He the most dejected I've ever seen a boxer, I think. He finished Linares. He beat the shit out of Pedraza. But he's not doing it anymore. And, I don't trust him here. It's going to be a good fight for sure. I don't think the undercard is that good. I think we do have I forget his name. We do have Nico Ali Walsh sighting.
Oh, what else? Right? Is this an ESPN card?
Yeah.
Joe Testorio. Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of the former greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. You're like, oh, God. Here we go. This guy's going to beat a can up.
Yeah, he's fighting Danny Rosenberger.
There you go.
Not to be confused with Zach Mettenberger, the 13-9-4 fella from, I forget where he's from. I think Ohio, the middle of nowhere, Ohio. So, Andrew Maloney getting in there. His brother is not on this card, meaning he cannot win a fight against a bum. He's fighting Junto Nakatani for the 115 super flyweight belt. I got Nakatani here. He's going to smoke him. An undefeated fella. Oscar Valdez is going to be in the co-main. He's a good fighter, but he's fighting Adam Lopez, probably a very probably minus 1,500 favorite. Typical boxing shit, right? You know how it is. So Top Rank putting together a real good undercard. But yeah, that's my pick there. Katie Taylor's getting back in the mix this weekend.
Yeah, she should take care of business.
Your girl. I know you said she could probably beat.
She could beat Conor McGregor. Yeah, no, I did say if her and Conor. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Before all you were like, are you serious? You're a fucking moron, dude.
Yeah. So I think that's about. There's some news, right? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We have something. Forgot. Your girl. I don't know if this could be pertain to you. We'll see in about 9 months. Cheyenne Velismus is pregnant. So she's gonna be out of the fight game for a little bit. I don't know if you have a
I have
hand in
nothing
the
to
cookie
do with
jar.
that. Let me just go out there and unequivocally state I have nothing whatsoever to do with that.
I do not have sexual relations with Cheyenne Velismus, although I kind of wish I did. But Roman Dolidze could be the father. We could see a mini Roman Dolidze running around, which would be terrifying. So I will not be having a son anytime soon. Marab, I heard wants Cejudo. That could be next. That could be interesting. That could be an interesting one. I don't know who I would have there. I would love for Marab to lose because I'm kind of tired of him, but so not really sure there.
Yeah, and we'll save some time. I'm sure we'll have some weeks where we really have to talk about some of this stuff. Does Peter Yan have a fight coming up? I thought I saw
Piotr Hyun. I don't know. I do not know.
I thought I saw that, but I just wanted to double check and see. No, he does not have anything locked in. Jan Blachowicz and Pereira, though, is a pretty crazy fight. The only guy other than Pereira himself to beat Israel Adesanya is Jan Blachowicz, and that's who Pereira is fighting in his first fight at 205, which seems to be on purpose, but you never know with this guy.
It appears Mr. Kosei missed weight, so there you go. You miss weight, and you're probably going to win in one of those 50-50 fights, right? So I feel confident about that. Give me $5,000 on a Ryan Kosei. Just kidding.
Well, that's a good number then. That means he's not ready. He's not in shape.
No, but
I'm not. Thank God I don't have anything on there.
Oh no, you need to ride the wave. I think Mr. Urbina is cooked.
Nope, never will. Urbina's going to beat him up now. All right,
I would doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. I want to thank you all for joining us. I hope you either fade our picks or take them. Either way, I will appreciate you for listening, and we hope to see you guys back next week. We will give a full breakdown of everything that goes down on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Excuse me, in the fight game. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna, big enough boxing match that we can get excited about, and then we have some. We have a nice UFC card to kind of just gamble on. Just something to gamble on, ladies and gentlemen. The summer, it's more time to focus on stuff like this before you save your shekels and get them ready for football and everything that's better to bet on than MMA, which football is the only thing I like to bet on more than probably
MLB, no run first inning, or yes run first inning. I know it's odd terminology.
I do well in the NBA,
that's the
but
bet
that's
to hammer. Yeah. Well, what do you got tonight? Is there an NBA?
NBA, we got the Celtics are going to win. I don't know what else you want to do with that, but they have to win.
10-point favorites.
Yeah, everybody knows that's what's going to happen. So I don't really even.
Stars Golden Knights. Who do you got? NHL's been good, man. Last night,
awesome
3
game.
overtime, almost 4 or almost 5.
Almost 5. It was a minute left in the fourth overtime. I watched the whole game pretty much.
Yeah, me too. My roommate is a big Panthers fan. He was at work, and the bar almost closed by the time the game was over. Meanwhile, it started at 8. Kind of fucking.
It's insane.
Mr. Brandon Montour had like 60 minutes on the ice. Fucking insanity. But
diving around.
I got
shit.
the Dallas Stars plus money tonight. Sneak peek. You heard it here first, folks. I think they're going to win game 1.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hot Take, Hot Box, Shoulder Strikes, MMA Podcast. We will see you next week.
Yes, sir.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.